Welcome back. We are again presenting a question that was done in K.c.s.e. paper 2, 2004. A question that touches on the properties of halogens, or simply group 7 elements. We are told the table below shows properties of chlorine, bromine, and iodine. We have the elements, their formulae, color, and state room temperature, then of course solubility. We are required to complete the table by giving the missing information in Roman 1, 2, and 3. We are supposed to state the color of chlorine at room temperature. Chlorine can either be green or yellow gas. 2, we look at iodine. Iodine can take several colors. It can be violet, can be purple, it can be gray, it can also be a black solid. Then we focus on the solubility of bromine. We realize that bromine is slightly soluble or simply soluble. Slightly soluble. We move to part B of this question. Chlorine gas is prepared by reacting concentrated hydrochloric acid with manganese 4 oxide. Remember, in this reaction, manganese 4 oxide is acting as an oxidizing agent. Roman 1, write the equation for the reaction between concentrated hydrochloric acid and manganese 4 oxide. We are going to have hydrochloric acid reacting with manganese 4 oxide, and this reaction produces manganese chloride. It also produces water, which is a liquid, and on top of that it produces chlorine gas because we are preparing chlorine. To balance the equation, we write 2 behind water. We also write 4 behind hydrochloric acid for that equation to be balanced. Roman 2, what is the role of manganese 4 oxide in this reaction? We can say manganese 4 oxide is used as an oxidizing agent, or simply to oxidize chloride ions into chlorine. We move down with the rest of the questions. C, Roman 1, ion 2 chloride reacts with chlorine to form substance E. Identify substance E. We have ion 2 chloride reacting with chlorine gas to give us ion 3 chloride. We can balance the equation by simply writing 2 behind ion 3 chloride and 2 behind ion 2 chloride for that equation to be balanced. So substance E is simply ion 3 chloride. Roman 2 of part C, during the reaction in C Roman 1 above, 6.30 grams of ion 2 chloride were converted to 8.06 of substance E. We can go back here we have 6 point, we are told we have 6.30 of iron 2 chloride were converted to 8.06. That means we need to calculate the mass of chlorine gas used. So we can pull this question down so that we can do it down here. This is C Roman 2. So we have iron 2 chloride plus chlorine giving us iron 3 chloride. We have been told the mass of iron 3 chloride is 8.06 and that of iron 2 chloride is 6.30, meaning the difference between the two will give us the mass of chlorine used. Mass of chlorine used will be equal to 8.06 minus 6.30, giving us what? Giving us 1.76. From there, we can now calculate the moles of chlorine. Moles of chlorine would be equivalent to 1.76, which is the mass you divide by the molecular mass of chlorine gas. 1 chlorine is 35.5, but chlorine gas has 2 chloride atoms. So if you take 35.5, you multiply by 2, you get 71. And this one is going to give us the number of moles equal to 0.0248 moles. And we know that 1 mole of any gas that 1 mole of a gas occupies 24,000 centimeter cubic by volume. We need to know 0.0248 moles will occupy what volume. So if you cross multiply, we are going to have 0.0248. You multiply by 24,000, giving us an answer equivalent to 595.2 centimeter cubic. And by so doing, we'd have calculated the volume of chlorine gas used. Next, D. Draw and name the structure of the compound formed when excess chlorine gas reacts with ethane gas. So we are going to draw ethane this way. It has 6 hydrogens. We are reacting this with excess chlorine. A substitution reaction will take place and we are going to have a substance that looks like this. This carbon will be occupied by chlorine, and this one is going to be equal to, in carbon number 1 we have 3 chlorines, and therefore we are going to have 1, 1, 1. Then in carbon number 2 we have another chlorine, so you realize we have 1, 1, 1, that is 3 chlorines in carbon number 1, and in carbon number 2 we have also 3 chlorines. So in total we have 6 atoms of chlorine, and therefore we call it hexachloroethane. The next question is part A. You give the industrial use of chlorine. Chlorine has several uses. Number 1, it can be used to manufacture, that is to make hydrochloric acid. Number 2, we use it to manufacture, used in manufacturing or making PVC pipes. It can be used to manufacture insecticides. It can be used to manufacture antiseptics, etc. I think we have done the entire of that question. Thank you for watching, and welcome to our discussions. And in case you have just come across this channel for the first time, please take 1 second and click the subscribe button so that anytime we publish a video like this, you'll automatically be given a notification.